through the world markets. So we can go gradually one after the other. Now, Dow Jones, after consolidations, clearly yesterday's move was a breakout. It has gone into all-time high and momentum is there. So all good with Dow. S&P, which was not able to cross the all-time high, also has managed to cross and given a close above that on weekly as well. Momentum is there in all time frames. Daily volumes also are quite good over here if you see picking up. So S&P also looks good from here. Nasdaq, which retraced and is now moving back, you can see two good gap up days, and you see very clearly nothing wrong with now Nasdaq also. If you see the volumes also have risen quite a bit in the last 2 days, so the up move of last 2 days with rising volumes is a very good sign again. Though a few companies like Google are now in a layoff mode and a few news coming, but market for now doesn't seem to be bothered about it. Dollar index sideways on all time frames, no worries over here. So I don't see it going up much. Okay, let's just see China once. Now, if you see China, weekly and monthly, both RSIs have gone below 40. Clearly shows complete lack of momentum. Instead of above 60, now they are below 40, which shows a complete slowdown in Chinese market. So now, as long as these two remain below 40, it is a sell on rise, right? We had gone through the RSI presentations earlier. Secondly, if any one of you observe, there's a head and shoulder breakdown on the Chinese market. So China for now looks like in a deep turmoil. Germany is trying to move back up, just about close to 60, not above 60 on the weekly and monthly. So may consolidate, but it is about the breakout points, are not really worried yet. Hong Kong, like China, weekly, monthly RSIs are below 40. So that just means complete, slowdown in momentum. Extremely weak again, Hong Kong. And pattern, if you see, quite similar, not a clear head and shoulder, but quite similar to the Chinese market. So I think these two markets are the weakest in the world right now. Kospi is sideways, Korean market again. So in Asian markets, if you see right now, barring India and Japan, that is Nikkei, all other markets are sideways to negative. So you have US doing well, you have Germany and UK, okay, kind of picking up. You have India and Nikkei doing really well. Now, when two of the largest investors in India are doing well, so from that front, we don't have much to worry about because US and Japan, their investment in India is going to support our markets going forward. So whatever bull market corrections and all keep coming, that's a part of the game, but broad-based, nothing wrong with it. Nikkei, which was struggling for months together to move out into the 30-year breakout, it has finally done. And you can see how quickly it is moving up. Let's come to oil. So oil is sideways and not able to cross the recent high. It may take another dip before it moves up, or may settle around these level for a couple of weeks more before it gives a clear direction. Now gold, it has broken up. It is managing to sustain about the breakout point. But if you see weekly, monthly RSIs are sideways. Daily is corrected, reversing from 40. It may give signs for a quick, swing kind of a move, but I would not look at a very strong move up from here. Silver, there's nothing much to talk about. It still continues to be sideways. So there's nothing happening over here. And now let's come to our Indian markets. Clearly, this is private bank. So I'll go to Nifty. Now we'll start with Nifty. Nifty saw some sell-off. There were two abandoned babies at the peak. There was a 2-day fall. There's an island reversal, which is forming on the daily from here and sustaining above that. And your weekly, monthly momentums continue. It is still in this range, which was there we had marked in the last week. Daily is taken a support of 50 and reversing. It had briefly gone closer to 40. That's what we had sent a message that there's a possibility of pullback from here. And that's exactly what has happened. If you see, even with the moving averages, it is about a 20-day average. And from that point also, there's nothing to worry about. Indian market doesn't seem to be weak. Even the ADX is kind of sideways. It's not showing any bullishness. ADX briefly went negative yesterday, but has recovered. So it's now in a sideways move. So for a short term, it may be sideways. Nothing to worry from that point because stock-wise momentum will continue. Now, what we have here is Bank Nifty, which is a little weaker. And if you see, even the pullback has not been very strong. The daily RSI had gone below 40 and is kind of recovering weekly sideways. Monthly is supporting it. As long as monthly supporting it and not going below 60 on a monthly basis, there are high possibilities of it slowly moving back up. The day monthly is going to show weakness, we know for sure it is going to go in for a correction mode or sideways mode. So we'll watch Bank Nifty very closely over here. But having said that, let's split Bank Nifty into PSU Bank and Private Bank. PSU Bank at all-time high, momentum on all time frames. So we know PSU banks, there is still momentum left, and that is why we are sticking to Canara Bank. Private banks, clearly weak on almost all time frames, monthly trying to just hold up. But daily, weekly, if you see the kind of candles also that are forming, RSI also, that is clear lack of momentum. Barring one or two stocks like your ICICI and Axis, which are trying to, regain, but there's nothing really strong about it. Next, you have your equal weight. Equal weight also not showing any weakness. Equal weight, we know, has equal weightage of all the 50 stocks in the index. So that is holding up pretty well. And clearly, broader market is not weak. It is only the banking which was the main criteria this week, which pulled the market down. And that was the reason why we were not worried, because there was only one sector which was weak. Let's go through although sectorial indices, we spoke about auto last week where it had briefly gone in reverse. We said we'll keep an eye on it. They also had sent a message about auto stocks reversing. OEMs may not have recovered as strong, barring Tata Motors and all, but if you see ancillary stocks have done really well. Cummins, and then you've got yesterday we saw in Apollo Tires, Krishna Industries are doing well. So whenever there's an auto stock breakout, you have to look beyond just the OEMs as well. So auto momentum gaining back. Energy holding up pretty well. Tested averages 2 weeks back, what we discussed, is moving back up. FMCG, longer term charts are good. Weekly, daily is trying to take support of 40, make correct a little more and give you a re-entry. Among all the FMCG stocks we have scanned through, ITC still looks good, but yet to give confirmation. So we're not going to add more over here. IT is consolidating on daily, but stock-wise momentum is very good. In fact, even RSI is not showing any weakness, but just a little cool-off phase before it probably picks up for a bigger move. Now, media, which was showing a lot of strength 2 weeks back, trying to get into the breakout, primarily because of the Z news and all that, it has not done well. If you see a lot of choppiness, look at the kind of candles it is forming. So we'll just keep aside for a while until it gives further confirmation, or we'll just avoid it. Metals, again, no lack of momentum in the longer term. Short term retraced. Short term, if you would have seen, also tested the 50-day average, which is in the green line over here. And RSI went close to 40 and reversing. So reversals should be very good. Among most of the stocks, I think right now, copper and aluminum look better. We have stainless steel also. Clearly, steel stocks like your Tata Steel and SAIL and all need more time. So be very selective in the metal space for now. Mid cap had a good deep correction. Again, look at the candle that is formed, gone back into all-time high. So no weakness on a mid cap front. Pharma is a little confusing. It is very, I've always been saying it is very stock specific movement and that too not consistent. So barring one or two stocks, we are not going to look at it broadly. PSE corrected and moving back up, very similar to the other sectors, what we saw like auto and all. No weakness over here at all. That continues. You have reality, again, reality corrected close to the averages and moving back up. This is one of those segments which we need to look out for the longer term and not avoid it, which I have been saying for a long time. Small cap is doing well. There is no concern with the small cap. It hasn't picked up the steam or gone into all-time high like the mid cap has gone, but very similar move. RSI is every time coming close to 60 and moving back up. No signs of weakness anywhere. Now, stock wise, I'm just going to I've just scanned a few stocks based on the RSIs, which I will discuss, and Sonal will take up a few stocks for this week. We have not done a complete analysis this weekend because of the delay in charts getting updated. Probably tomorrow we'll scan more of it. So I'll just discuss a couple of stocks which I have identified. So I've run a scanner which gives me the weekly, monthly RSI is about 60 and the daily, which is between 40 and 50. So just keep this thing in mind. I'm not talking about buying or something, but just have a look at how stocks reverse. You guys know that one of my favorite indicators is RSI. Now, no lack of momentum over here. It has gone up closer to the all-time high and corrected from there. Is trying to give re-entry indications over here. So reversals and close above this candle, close above 566 may give a good entry in Hindalco. So you can keep eyes on Hindalco. Another stock which I kind of liked in this space is Dixon. Dixon is doing really well. It had given a breakout, but it has come down. It may be a breakout failure, but over here, RSI doesn't point to that. So if you see setup wise, this is a perfect setup. Having said that, you need a reversal candle confirmation to re-enter. If that is given, then Dixon can give you a very good up move from here. So very important, watch out for a bullish candle on reversal. And the third stock is Alchem Labs. Alchem, very similar to Dixon Technologies, gone into all-time high, good breakout, retracing, no signs of weakness. You all know that retracement of stocks is a very healthy thing to happen. It is trying to come closer to 50 EMA. Also, the daily coming closer to 40. And watch out for reversal candles. Alchem can be a good swing buy, even positional buy from here. Now, this is the first criteria of RSI based filtration that I follow 60, 60, 40. The second scanner that I ran was a 60, 60, and 50. So the daily RSI is between 50 and 60. In that, you have both your Adani. So we are holding Adani and Adani Enterprises and Port. Sonal will explain those two stocks. While the momentum was there, it reversed from 50. So this is consolidating. But on the other hand, Adani Ports gave a reversal. It did not manage to go below 60 also and gave a nice bullish candle. The whole support system Sonal will explain, but these are the kind of stocks where momentum continues. Every dip in that is an opportunity to buy. Container Corporation. Again, no lack of momentum. Retracement was there and RSI touched 40 and reversing. It briefly went below 50-day average, but tested the breakout point. This is a retest that has happened. In Container Corporation, this bold green line was the breakout point. It tested once, reversed, tested the second time, and shooting back up. It just shows how strong the support line is now. So Container Corporation can be a good equity buy, which I have said earlier. We exited, we booked profit, or are we holding? I think we exited.
No. Yeah, we wanted to move the fund.
Yeah.
So
we can reconsider this because the longer term first target itself is 1070. Look at ICICI Bank. The results are extremely good, but what really I like is clearly momentum is strong in it. There is no lack of momentum. RSI consolidated, moving back up, back above all the breakout points also, back above breakout points again with good volumes. So ICICI Bank, if on Tuesday moves above 1015 on equity on the spot prices, we can add more and we can see a good up move in this. So I will buy like HDFC and all. ICICI looks good to me. And we discussed Canara Bank that we are holding. It is at doing really well, 52-week high. Bank of Baroda was into all-time high. It retraced. Again, no lack of momentum. It briefly gone below 50 and reversing. On reversals, we'll consider Bank of Baroda, not right now. But example is when a stock is again in high in momentum, retracements are a good opportunity to buy. Now, like ICICI Bank, we have Axis Bank. Now, Axis Bank, I think I did mention day before yesterday when market was falling, I asked you guys to scan RSIs of stocks and figure out stocks which are going to move. That day, Axis Bank had just touched 40 and was reversing. It made a good reversal bullish candle, and now you can see how it is moving back up. So instead of panicking day before yesterday, if we identify these kind of stocks and hold, it takes its time to move back, but there is no concern because stocks are strong. It's not necessary all stocks move together, but they can pick up steam one after the other. MCX consolidating, and it may give you a breakout above 3250. So anyone holding or wants to add above in MCX can look at about 3250. Same criterias where RSI momentums are strong. And Sonal, you'll take up Apollo tires.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Another one is Coal India. Okay. Coal India briefly went below 60, managed to reverse. This was the first indication good candle. We are holding in equity, so we continued. And now look at this candle. It has gone into all-time high. Now on Tuesday, if it crosses 401, that will be a good entry point to add further in Coal India. So don't miss out stocks like Coal India because they are high in momentum. Given a confirmed breakout, confirmation of this will come on Tuesday. So you can add Coal India, may consider doing it in futures. You can just run it through us before taking it in futures. Otherwise, equity you can continue to add comfortably. Now look at it. How it just consolidated for a couple of days and started moving up. Once 470, this resistance was crossed. How quickly it zoomed up yesterday. How quick was the move? So whenever a stock is in high momentum, you get reversal candles, your daily shows you momentum strength, then you cannot ignore it. Just put your alert. The moment it gives you an alert, you can immediately buy and continue to hold it until you see the next resistance. Couple of other stocks that we have discussed in the past and few of you are holding like Birlasoft and all, they all continue to be strong. So I think so if you have any other stock, you take it up. I have not scanned all the stocks this week.
Yeah. So good morning, everyone. Let me just explain you Nifty, Bank Nifty, and the other setups according to supply demand zone. So let's first go to Nifty. Now, if you see Nifty here on weekly, of course, the candle is not that great. It is making a bearish candle with a very shallow bottom. Now, if we come to daily, what is so confusing about Nifty is like above, it had given a island reversal. So island reversal, basically, if it is kind of, given on top, the correction goes for 4 to 5 days. But in this case, in Nifty's case, what it has done, I've removed the support from here. I'll just draw the demand zone again. So this was the previous demand zone. I have removed it because it has already been tested twice. So I wouldn't be pinning a lot of hopes on this demand zone now for the reversal. But exactly at this demand zone, you can see it is making a nice spinning bottom. And after making this spinning bottom, it made an island reversal. So again, island reversal, bullish island reversals are positive. ideally today yesterday we should have closed above the high of the doji that this island reversal made, but it had kind of broken the previous day's low, but not the first candle of the island reversal. So again, it kind of, tells us that there might be some kind of retracement, but not a deep one. Since this support zone is already tested twice, I would not be like kind of considering a very like how we were confident in the past that, it will make a sure shot reversal when the sentiment was so negative. But now, right now, I would not be looking at this support, but the support below this, even if Nifty kind of breaks the bottom of the spinning bottom candle, the next strong support is 21,155 and 20,979. I don't see Nifty going below this. And of course, like, another 200-300 points, we kind of one lot we booked profit, one lot minute, loss. So for us right now, that is one of the reason I kind of, towards the end of the market, I booked another lot in Nifty. And stock wise, we are carrying very strong momentum scripts. So even if little bit of 100, 105, 150 points, 200 points retracement you see in Nifty, don't get nervous or just don't start panicking about the scripts that you are holding, because we know according to demand supply, which usually like 90% times it works, these points are very, very good levels. Now, going to Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty, I don't see again much fall in Bank Nifty because of the fact that PSU banks, though the sector is showing sideways, but lot of good scripts like, Canara Bank, apart from SBI, Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda, PNB are showing, good reversal. And now if you go by the supply demand zone of daily, it is right at the support, and we can see it is not breaking our support, the support that I have marked. So that again kind of gives us the confidence that, Bank Nifty doesn't have much of the downside now left. With ICICI Bank result, I don't know how market will react on Tuesday, but it should support Bank Nifty, and most of the other banks results are out. So the downside is not kind of deep in case of BNF. Now, I'll just quickly explain few of the scripts that we are still holding and why we are so bullish on it. Now, this is LNT. LNT, we are already in good profit, and we kind of now trailing the stop loss. The stop loss right now is 3,605. And why I have kept it there? Because you can see that it is a nice rising channel, which kind of satisfies the Dow theory of higher high and higher low swings, and nicely going in a rising channel. And from December, you can see how it is consolidating near the channel resistance. So of course, there is a chance of breakout in case of Larsen LNT, and we have taken a position before the breakout just because the accumulation was very good with a below average volume. So the accumulation by institution always takes place very quietly, not much of, as a noise about the script. And we can see here all the accumulation, the volume is kind of, within the average volume range. And that is the reason we went long, and it kind of going in our favor. If this breaks out, this channel breaks out, the next, the target would be 4,009. But of course, we will be just following our trailing stop loss. If it breaks 3,605, for once, we will book our 2 lots in LNT. Naukri, there is nothing as such to worry about. It is still above our breakout point. So though it is, we can see that it could not cross this supply zone of, what I have marked with this yellow highlighter, but it is not even going down the support, which is a very crucial support. So that clearly shows the consolidation and the silent buying that is happening in InfoEdge. So let's see. I think your result is around 1st Feb. Let's see if we see a breakout here, or of course, after such a long consolidation, either if the result is good, it'll give a good trigger for it to move towards the target of 5,608. Now, Canara Bank, again, just like L&T, this is a rising, channel. And why we like the setup of Canara Bank, of course, because of its indicators being very strong. Secondly, every time it is coming down, it is not breaking the median of the channel, which is very important. That shows that how strong the momentum is. Canara Bank, again, when it was just, when the market corrected 200, 300%, it still respected the median. And this is when on reversal, we added more, knowing that, there is some upside in this. And yesterday we saw the moment it kind of crossed our resistance of 470, which I was, repeating time and again, that you will again, like, if you have 2 lots, 3 lots, 4 lots, or you want to increase more lot, it should only happen above 470 based on the sustainability. Now, when we say that it should sustain, it should not be just for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. You guys just see it, going a little bit above the level and you're like, it is above 470. Let it sustain, let it make one full candle on 75 minutes. That will kind of give confidence that, okay, people who bought it, the buyers are interested, and they'll just take the, momentum more in this script. And that is what is happening in Canara Bank. The swing target for Canara Bank for us, which we are holding, the future ones, is 497. That is the immediate target. Once it crosses 497, so people who are holding in equity, don't even look at that 497 level, because if it kind of gives this breakout, the next target would be 548 to 559. We might see it like, once the breakout happens, it will move very fast, and we might kind of, see it achieving it in a time frame of 1 month to 1.5 months. Now, ICICI Bank, Mayur has explained the, based on the averages. I will explain based on the pattern breakout. Now, if you see this, it has kind of given a descending channel breakout. And, we've been like, we added more here and then just kind of, waiting for it to cross that 1016 to 1017 level. And now the result has come, and I don't know how many of you have actually gone into the details of, the numbers that they have released, but there are a few things I want to highlight. First, their PCR ratio, that is the provisional coverage ratio, which is around 87%. The norm of the sector is just 80 to 81%. ICICI Bank is already maintaining a PCR of 87%, which kind of shows that how much of buffer they're keeping for their bad debts. And that shows that how efficient this bank is. Now, another thing which I want to highlight in ICICI Bank result and why I like it so much is the CASA growth rate. The CASA growth rate in banking sector right now is between 10 to 12. ICICI Bank has achieved a CASA growth rate of 18.7%. That is like way above the industry average. And we know the recent kind of sell-off in HDFC Bank, though their loan growth was good, but they kind of bore the brunt of this selling just because their CASA growth was less. So whenever the result is out, don't just kind of wait for, whether it is good and bad, just dive deep into their numbers. Because when the CASA growth, which is the low borrowing cost for the banks, when the CASA growth is so good, that kind of, makes us, especially for the investor, gives us the confidence that how efficient the bank is, and the operational efficiency rate is very, very good. So that is what we are seeing in case of ICICI Bank. Now, there are few negatives also in the result, like slippages. Slippages are little high, but the management, first of all, I love the management of ICICI Bank because of their clarity in the guidance. So they clearly said yesterday in the press conference that the slippages are high because of the seasonality. So overall, the bank's result, what we will see right now, all will have high slippages because of your rural loan growth, which is little bit kind of, it takes a back seat in the, in the quarter of October to December. So that was one of the reason ICICI Bank NPA and slippages are little more. Otherwise, if you see the CAR, that is, I think the capital adequacy ratio, 16.7%. I remember now the numbers by heart because I've gone through it so many times. And the industry average is, again, it is, I think, between 16.0 to 16.2. So, above the industry, this rate, ICICI Bank has the CAR deposit ratio. So overall, it kind of looks result-wise, I think the numbers are very strong. I don't know. I think market has that much of wisdom to understand that why slippages are high, and the management also clarified on this. So I don't think market will react to this. We may see it kind of crossing because of this CASA. That is what market wants. When any banks release their result, market is only kind of focused on two things: net interest income, net interest margin, and CASA. And ICICI Bank kind of beat, in these three segments by a very, very good margin. So I am kind of bullish in ICICI Bank. In fact, I liked it so much, the result, that any dip, I'm going to kind of, add it in my portfolio now. I probably will have it in my equity as well as in the swings in ICICI Bank.
वो अब क्या एक्चुअली वहाँ पे कोई फ्लाइट कैंसिल हुआ है तो इंडिगो काउंटर पे बहुत हल्ला चलता हुआ तो ये उसमें तो
And next is Coal India. As Mayur said that, we are bullish in Coal India from this level after it after there was a rectangular consolidation breakout. Now, you will see a pattern after pattern or patterns within patterns. So don't ignore those kind of setups. And as as you can see here, there is a nice, very short-term rounding bottom. And it is kind of closed above our resistance of 395. There is another 400 is not a very big resistance. It's mostly a psychological level. But I just want you guys to see this. So if I kind of plot a Fibonacci retracement here, is it happening like this? 1 second. Oh, this is 25. So for us to kind of add more would not be above 400. We will add more above 408 to 410 level, because that is the 23% extension of the rally. And the immediate target in future, once it crosses 410, you can quickly see it going towards 436. For our equity, the target is 453. We would not be touching our equity holdings, but future, we can of course just, when I put it in the broadcast that it is showing a good reversal, that was the point where you could have added in future. Many of you have added in future to the yesterday. And the next level would be above 410. Shriram Finance, of course, one of my favorite, and it is not, there is no weakness in this, nicely above the breakout of the rising channel. Little bit of consolidation will happen. Result is around the corner. It is 25th Jan. So let's see how the result is. Market is expecting a good result. And I think from next week, it will be included in Nifty 50. So the moment it is included in Nifty 50, you will see a good influx of money in Shriram Finance. Adani Port. Now, Adani Port, we kind of went long and booked little early because market was very, very volatile. So I think at this candle, when it was making shooting star, that is when I kind of thought that it's better to book off our future. We booked here. Then it kind of, went further, crossed 1200 levels and all. And if you just go back to my previous chart of Adani Port, which is very much there in our broadcast group, this level was always marked, and we said for us to re-enter would be a reversal from this level. And that is what we saw yesterday. The moment it kind of made a good candle and crossed the high of this, I initiated a buy call, and you can see now how nicely it respects the supply and demand zone. And this was 1146 was the demand zone, and nicely it's reversing. The immediate target would be 1251 in Adani Port. We'll keep trailing our stop loss and see if we are able to achieve our target there or not. Manappuram. Very good consolidation is happening. We know that result is going to be good because of the rally what we saw in gold. So any rally in gold will help Manappuram Finance. Once it breaks out of this 177 to 188 range, there is absolutely no weakness in the chart. It's just the matter of movement. And even if you see, the fall is coming not with the very, great volume. This volume is only seen because of the RBI that they, made some statement regarding NBFCs. Otherwise, the volume is below averages when the consolidation is happening. So that kind of gives us more confidence that, okay, it is an accumulation phase. And after accumulation phase, there's always an uptrend that has been followed. So Manappuram Finance, that is the story. Only above 182, we can see a nice rally towards 198. If you remember last time when we were holding 2 lots of Manappuram Finance, it was again just kind of, this was the pattern. This was the area we just kind of held it for, probably for, 1 month or so. But suddenly at the day of result, when the result was announced, we got nice 10, 12, points upside in Manappuram, and we were holding 2 lots. So that is like 12,000 shares we had. So we made a very nice kind of, booked a good profit in Manappuram Finance. So this time also, looking at the consolidation, I think that it is pretty strong. And around the result, if it is positive, we may see a good trigger for it to cross the supply zone. IRCTC, though people who are holding in equity, no need to worry. Go for our positional target of 1264. Keep holding it. Add more above 1096. But for the future holdings, the moment it comes near 1072 to 1074, I can see a very strong supply zone here. So it may kind of consolidate in this zone for a bit. So if you're seeing good profit, which we already are seeing, good amount of uptrend yesterday and good amount of profit in our portfolio, we can probably book it in future, but your equity, you keep holding. Tata Motors, auto is making a reversal, but even, when auto sector was weak all the last month and followed, weeks after that, Tata Motors didn't fall much. So whenever the sector is weak, and there is not weak, actually, auto was not weak, it was sideways, and there was little bit of retracement and all that was happening. Tata Motors and TVS Motor were holding its ground. Though Maruti and others, Mahindra and Mahindra were, falling, Tata Motors was kind of meandering in the same around the resistance zone. So which we will usually Feb, March are very good months for auto sector. So whenever there is a good revival in the sector, the stocks that have not fallen much would see a good upsurge. So based on that, for our equity, holding, the target is 976, which is high. For future, I'll keep updating the target. Right now, I would be looking at 845 to 850 level to book my future holding, or we'll keep trailing our stop losses for higher targets. So this is the strategy we'll use in Tata Motors. Adani Enterprise, you can see this was the breakout point. There is no problem in the stock. And whenever, like we saw nice 5 days fall, but whenever the fall was happening, there was no volume. Look at the volume here, it's below average. So why we need to even be just, concerned about it? And you can see it kind of reversed right from our demand zone. So again, Adani Enterprise looks very good on the chart. There is no as such weakness in the script. There is some consolidation here and there is happening. Please ignore it. As long as the volume is in control, we don't need to kind of, get bogged down by the continuous fall. So always remember, like the three important things for me are price, volume, and price volume. If you master it, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, whether it's January, Feb, or any dull month, it is difficult for us to kind of, make loss, because if you understand the price volume equation, you can just easily scout for a good momentum scripts. And that is what see, everyone says Jan Feb it is very difficult to make money, but our focus is just on high momentum, and that is why we keep adding on rises. I hate to add when it falls, because I don't know why it is falling. And if there is no reversal, that means there are no buyers also. So why should we unnecessarily just go and catch that script? So that is one. TVS Motor did not give a follow-up, but here again, it is like the accumulation is happening near the flag, resistance of the flag. And I'm expecting it to do, when is the result? Result is 24 Jan. So let's see if it breaks out. If it breaks out, the nearest target is 22,260. Now, apart from our future holdings, there are a few suggestions from my side for next week. One is this from the tire sector, Balakrishna Industries. Look at the rounding bottom breakout. This was my level to go long in this. It closed above weekly closing, above 2,723. It can move. This is a short-term target. It can move above it can move up to 4,000. And the stop loss, the risk reward is very good to go long. The stop loss would be somewhere between 2,580 to 2,605, this line. So if you can just kind of, see that deep stop loss and, okay with little bit of retracement, this is a good buy, because the breakout is very good, backed by good volume. And the volume is not just, last week's volume. A week before last also, the volume was quite strong in Balkrishna Industry. Now, another one, we are already holding ITC, but another script that I like from this segment is Colgate-Palmolive. Look at the rising, though the sector isn't doing that well, FMCG, but again, continuous, it is moving in its rising channel only. Now, after December, for last 1 month or so, you can see the consolidation that is happening, and the small dojis and small body candles that it is making. That shows that this is the accumulation. And when this accumulation with below average, your volume, and suddenly there'll be a spike, which shows that, okay, institution is, buying. Again, there'll be like little bit of consolidation, and again, there'll be a spike. And now it kind of is above, once it closes above 2,538, which is our buying level before the breakout. Because what happens, sometimes the breakout happens so fast that we are not able to kind of, cash in onto that upside. So it is better to see from where this accumulation phase is ending and a good buying is coming, because they will not give you a heads up institution that, okay, we are going to take it up. We will only get to realize when we see a big candle here. But now you can see that it is near resistance. Nice accumulation is happening. We may see a breakout soon. And if the breakout happens in this case, the target would be 3032 in case of Colgate-Palmolive. Persistent, a very good result yesterday. Again, near the channel resistance. If it closes above 7,957, even on Tuesday, I don't know how market would be. If market closing is, not that great, and this kind of is not giving a very big candle, we can probably buy it above this level for a target of 8,515. So I guess that's it from my side for next
Did you
week.
put McDowell's?
Yeah, I saw it. That again it has made a morning star actually. But Mayur, it has made morning star. This is the pattern of morning star that shows a bottoming out in, the script. But we cannot buy it at this level. The buying would be above 1133. Yeah. So this is again a potential
Other
break.
charts where we're breaking out of the channel. This is now testing the bottoms of the channel.
Right.
Okay, so a swing can be done in this because if you see averages are also converging and crossing, and we can take a bigger confirmed trade once the channel is crossed. This is a convergence of all averages if you see in a single candle.
Achha, many of you were asking Polycab. Now, when we took our averages, when Mayur just, taught you guys averages, we have always told this thing, we don't like to buy anything that falls below the long-term average, averages. Here you can see that it is below the 200 EMA. Now, every rise would be sell in Polycab. Though Polycab reversed from his weekly support zone, but you cannot just you don't know from where the sell off will come. Polycab will only become strong if the closing is above 4,600. Until then you can't touch it. So when there's so many good momentum scripts, why you want to kind of look at it, especially when it is trading below all the averages. Any other script you want us to see? So that is it from our side.
I think you missed also Apollo
Apollo Tires.
Apollo Hospital.
Apollo Hospital also is given a breakout. We are here to check on that. We'll update you, or you can check it now.
Apollo Hospital, I've already marked. 1 second. I know, yeah, it was a breakout. The other day only it was. I told
from the 2 sessions back. 2 weeks
Yeah.
back in the session we mentioned about Apollo Hospital giving
So
a breakout.
yeah, so you can see, let me just reset my, okay. So it's a nice rounding bottom breakout. If you're looking at a positional trade in this, the target would be huge.
I think you said a target of around 6,600.
Yeah, that is the swing target. For the positional trade, I'm saying, because I'm looking at weekly.
Sonal looks at it from the log charts. I look at the linear, the other
So
chart.
if you see my setting, it is logarithm. I don't see the regular setting because it gives me the movement in percentage terms, and to understand demand supply zone, this kind of, suits me well. It kind of gives me the perfect level. So that is why my setting is logarithmic. I don't want to see the change in price in absolute terms. I want to see it in percentage term.
So yeah, today, this week has been the first week of breakout in Apollo Hospitals. So next week, if it sustains above this week's high, is when you need to start buying. Apollo Tyres, Sunil.
So now Apollo Tyre, as I was saying, don't ignore the pattern that is formed after, the big pattern breakout. Now, if you see that Mayur kind of, told about the breakout in Apollo Tyres at this level, it kind of did not go off very well, but did not even break this demand zone. Can you see this green line? It never braked and reversed from there. It was on our radar. The day it kind of moved out of this rounding bottom consolidation, which was almost happening for a month, we went long, and how quickly we got the trade. Now, why we exited at this, why we booked at 540, because it was our swing and good, see, when we suggest 2 lots and this is the suggested quantity, sometimes at our end, we take more than that. And it was giving us a nice significant profit just in 2 days. And the target for this, the main pattern breakout was 540, and see how beautifully it tested it and reversed from there. Now, there can be 2 possibilities in Apollo Tyres, either coming back to 495 level, retesting it, or 485 level, retesting it and reversing. So if we see a reversal candle here, we will again play the swings. If it goes down, better for us, we can get a nice risk reward. For now a higher target, because once this supply is tested according to forex supplies and demand theory, once it is tested, it gets weaker. So what it will do, it will just kind of again go here, stop, consolidate, little bit of accumulation will happen, and then give us a breakout. So let's keep Apollo Tyres on our radar, and whenever we get a nice reversal, it's for us to again take a good swing trade here. Anything else you want us to see? Since my screen.
IX.
Okay. Now, IX, why I told you and why we bought an equity, frankly, because for my according to my level, it was above 172 to just go long in future, not before that. And that is when whoever checked with me about future, I said no, we bought an equity above 172 to 174, we will see, to just kind of go long in future. Equity, it is fine, because as we said, we kind of went long at this breakout, at this candle. It is reversing from the same supply zone of 170 to 171, but it is retesting the breakout and not kind of gone below, that one crucial support of 134. Anyone who is holding in future, because the fall was so deep, we didn't want you guys to pile up the loss. I told you guys to exit it in future, but equity, it is safe to kind of keep holding it. This can be looked at as the retest of the triangular consolidation breakout also. Usually triangular consolidation breakouts are very strong, and that too IEX was giving it on weekly time frame. Few news come around. I think a news came around this big candle that Power Exchange has declared one price for the companies to sell on the platform. That kind of it bore the brunt of that news, and we saw a nice deep correction in IEX. So this
When
is
can
yeah.
when can we see the opportunity to buy again in equity? I'm holding in equity only.
So I think this is the level. Wait, I think I've marked the level also. Let it close above 143, Jasneet. I think it's Jasneet only, no? 143. And you can add, even we will add more in equity. So let it close above 143. This
Okay.
yellow line you are seeing. So,
Yes.
So that is the supply zone, and not a very strong one that we need to be worried about. But once it closes, or to be extra safe, once it closes above yesterday's high, that is 144, we can add more in equity. But yeah, as we always follow, only add on reversal. So yeah, this is our level of adding more in IEX.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Sonal.
Hi.
Can you just please see Inox Wind and NMDC, two of the scripts, please?
NMDC, I'll just check first because it is on my radar. Can you guys, since we have taught you about the island reversal, can you see a island reversal here? So it is nice island reversal it has made. It has kind of given a follow-up. See the volume. There is a follow-up volume also. And this doji, the hammer is made right at the daily support zone. So looks good. If you want to place swing in this, 226 or 227 is the target here. And if I go and see the weekly, you remember I shared this that it is, giving inverted head and shoulder breakout. Look at this. Look at this. After a breakout, how it moved, parabolically in one direction. And the target for this breakout is 226